Locked it in.
Oh yeah.
Gotta lock it in. So nice. So nice to have that appointment. It's nice to have that relationship with the barber, to have that appointment. And then when you walk in, it's just good to go.
Oh yeah.
You know, there's not a whole lot of, I wonder, I hope there's going to be some sort of communication barrier here. I want this. I'll show them a picture.
Dude, that's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing. It's scary going to a new barber or a new hairstylist.
For sure.
I can only imagine for women.
Terrifying.
The lady just got her hair done the other day. She's been going to the same lady for a minute. So yeah, it's super nice whenever you have that comfortability and that consistency with somebody in the barbershop or the hairstyling salon, whatever.
Yeah, someone that's
nice. Huh?
Someone that you trust.
Yeah.
You can really just be like, all right, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. I always wanted that when I was maybe not a kid, but maybe when I was a teenager. I remember having that idea and that desire to be like, man, I just want to walk into the barbershop and sit down and not say a fucking word. And then have them just be like, done.
Like being
and
a
it
regular
looks right
at a restaurant. They just know what you want.
Yep.
But with a barber.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So nice.
It's terrifying, bro. Like,
yeah, you gotta wear that shit.
Exactly.
Unless you wear hats,
dude,
or hoodies all the time.
And in high school, like it's hard to escape.
Like your life.
Yeah,
it's like your existence. You gotta fit in that thing.
Yeah, if they make you look goofy,
yeah,
you gotta go back to school just looking goofy
for a couple weeks.
Look what I did
till it grows out, or you shave it all off.
Social suicide, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm gonna lose all my friends.
Yeah, it's like a common like punishment for a bet, or a punishment for getting last in in fantasy football or something. You gotta shave your head.
Yeah,
yeah, that's wild. It's a common hairstyle.
That's how they break people in the military.
Yeah. No individuality for you, son. You just got a scalp.
Yeah. No, but I didn't ever think about how nice it would be to have a barber that you go to all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I just, you just hope. You're just rolling the dice. you walk into fucking
Great Clips or whatever.
Yeah, and you're looking at every barber, and you're like, okay, that person looks like they know what they're doing. They look creative. They look like
they look artsy.
Yeah, I like her haircut. Maybe she'll do a good job. I don't know. And then you're like kind of hoping. You're like 1, 2, 3, and then there's like 3 people in front of me, so I should get the 4th one done. That'd be like doing math right there. And then if you don't like the look, if you're like 2 away, and then the 3rd person just butchered a haircut, walk out. Get out of there. Because you will get a bad haircut at a Great Clips if you're not careful.
It ain't work. They ain't all Great Clips. It's like average clips.
I'm gone.
I'm out of there, dog. Yeah, it's important. Or it's, I guess important. When I say important, what I'm referring to, I'm really trying to say like it is something that you have to live with every day. Even if you got to like hide it.
I was gonna say, maybe we're vain. Or maybe that's a vain thought. Is like, I wouldn't dare butcher my haircut because then I'd look stupid. And then people would be like, bro, like, come on, you really care that much about your hair?
Yeah.
But like,
fucking sissy guy.
You know, in high school, it's definitely, there's just so much on the line, bro. Like, you're just trying to not do anything out of the norm.
Yeah.
So
not...
hey, look at him. That's like the worst case scenario. It's like horrifying.
Yeah, it's all you're trying to avoid for the most part.
Yeah, right.
Look at that guy.
The fuck's going on with him? Ah. Yeah. Maybe I was just
getting ridiculed.
When I was in middle school, it was pretty lethal, dude.
Yeah.
It was pretty lethal.
Yeah. It's not so much that you want to be the prettiest, quote unquote, or whatever, but you definitely don't want to be the ugliest. Getting called out.
Yeah, there's ramifications for that.
Yeah, making any social miscues or missteps, some faux pas, or you're a fucking trailblazer, I guess. You're coming out with a haircut no one's ever seen before. They're like, that's stupid. But if you're him and you're just wearing it,
yeah.
Like, no, this is on purpose. It's like, oh shit, maybe it's tight.
Whoa.
Maybe I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, you can flip script like that.
Yeah.
Easily.
You gotta have that her or that him energy. You know what I'm saying? Fucking protagonist energy.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I did this shit on purpose. I think Matthew McConaughey talks about that in his book. What are you gonna say?
The problem, you like do that then. Like go find a really dope haircut and be like, I want this haircut, and like I need you to do a good job. Because like, yeah, if you did that, then you could definitely be like, nah, bro, you just don't know what's going on. Like this is what's going on. Mm-hmm. But if you go to Great Clips and get butchered, it's hard to come back and be like, this is what's going on, bro. You really just don't know.
On purpose.
You don't know about that line, that parallelogram line. Okay.
Disproportionate.
Yeah.
No.
And plus, it's like your energy too. You're nervous. You're like, this shit's fucked. I'm fucked. They're gonna find out. They're gonna expose me. And then someone calls you on it. You're like, ah, I'm dead.
You're
Socially,
right. You're right. You're right. That's what I could say.
But the other thing's true. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's my advice
leading
for
the charge.
Young people getting haircuts is to just find like an actor with like a nice haircut that is what the kind of haircut you want, and then like take a picture of that actor and be like, I'm trying to do this right here.
Yeah, it's always the best way to do it. I remember one of my high school buddies was talking about that. Or I remember we had a conversation about getting haircuts, and he had mentioned that to me in the conversation about him like showing them a picture or whatever. And like to me, that was foreign. Or like at that point, I never heard of doing that before. I was like, huh. Because I guess I was like trying to talk to like terminology. Like I want a 2 on the side. Or I want
You're trying to learn the language.
yeah. I need the jogging. It's the best way we can communicate. But no, I was like, oh, it's probably a lot easier. Just like show them a picture and have them try to emulate that. But then, yeah, I don't know. It's a whole thing. It's a whole fucking thing. And then you got to trust that person, and then they got to execute. And if you do go to like a new person, you got to, because I've had maybe over the last, let's see, I would say over the last like 6 or 5 years, maybe a little bit less, somewhere in that ballpark though. I've had a pretty consistent barber. I've only had like three barbers over the last like probably 5 or 6 years.
Nice. That's good. Those are great numbers.
And they're solid. Yeah. So it's like, but the first time you go to them, there might be a little learning curve. You know, they have to like learn your dome. They're gonna learn how your hair grows, your fucking natural pathways of how things are supposed to look, or you know how your hair grows in the like directionally. You know, and how it's supposed to blend together, and then also what you want. So it's like what your hair naturally does, and what would look optimally best for your cranium and your hair growth patterns, and then there's like what you want. So they gotta like try to find the middle ground for it too. Yeah. And there's a little learning curve in doing that. But it's nice whenever they do find it. And they get in that groove, and you can just go in and sit in the fucking chair, dog. And just, I think it's super relaxing. It's like one of my favorite things to do in the world. Just get a haircut. So sit there. It's like getting a massage for your head almost. You know? Yes.
There might be other things that if I just have a free day, literally a free day, like Matthew, you need to have a free day. There's no obligations at all in the world. Let me start that day with a haircut.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's like,
yeah. Okay.
There might be other more important stuff to do that have higher priority, or like I would feel better if I took care of this thing than if I just went and got a haircut today.
More urgent.
Right. Yeah. But if like all the waters are completely still, and I was just going to like your fucking birthday, you take your birthday off of work, you're like, what am I going to do on my birthday? And you got to do something. That's like the place that the haircut, like
haircut energy.
Yeah. I found that like, on days when I had literally nothing to do, but I still needed to like treat myself, or not treat myself, but like I needed to have a good day. It's like, how am I going to create a good day for myself? Like something that I actually enjoy doing. So that way I'm not just kind of like flowing through this life and not really like making the most out of my days off. Yeah. And I was like, just started scheduling haircuts on those days. And then I'll go do this, then I'll go do that, then I'll go do this. And then you just kind of like get the ball rolling. You feel like a new version of yourself.
Yeah.
It's tight.
Definitely get the momentum started.
Hell yeah.
Just get it moving.
There was a while too where I was getting a haircut every week, and it was just like so nice. It was so nice not to think about it, like not to have to like schedule it or like do days, like count days for when I was like, how many am I? I'm like 12 days out. At 14 days out, it gets kind of bad. 13 is like a threshold. If you get it cut on the 13th day, but then that if you're gonna go 3 weeks, that day
that
14
delta's nice.
Day 21. What are you gonna say?
I was just saying that the delta is nice if you wait 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Or
because you get that like,
change.
oh shit.
Yeah. Sometimes you get the haircut too frequently. It's just like nothing. It's just you're just humming at that high frequency.
Yeah, my barber has made that point to me before. He's like, I think you get more pop. You know what I'm saying?
You do get a bigger pop. You do get a much bigger pop if you were to fucking go caveman to faded.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fade man. Caveman to fade man, dog.
I'm fade man. Anyways,
going primal.
I think my brain was just like, I want it to be like a video game where it's just like my avatar, because like the hair grows back, but every time I want to present myself, I just want to be the faded version of myself. It's just expensive.
Yeah, ultimately, yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
In the video game, in the GTA version of this life, my guy's got to fade all day. Every time I log in, he's faded up to death.
Dude, I love that we're talking about this so much. I get so much blowback in my own life from when I was getting my hair cut every week.
Really? Like, what do you mean?
Like my dad, like I just review finances with him because okay. You know.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think you should have like wise counsel and stuff like that. Sometimes I need people need someone to say, why are you spending money on this? Like, what the fuck are you doing? That way I can be like, oh yeah, you're right, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then he's always just like, he reminds me of like in this moment for sure. In The Wolf of Wall Street, when the guy's dad is like, you spent $10,000 on midget mud wrestling? Like, why? Why the fuck did you need that at the quarterly meeting? And it's just like, you know, he's right a lot of times. I'm like, I don't know why I have 5 different streaming services. You're right. I had some free trials and then I fucking never canceled them.
They got me.
They got me.
They fucking got me. They
no.
definitely take that into consideration.
Yeah, for sure. But anyways, regardless, one of the things that he would always be like, why are you spending so much money on a haircut? And why do you get your haircut every week? It's a crazy expense. I'm like, you don't understand, Dad. Parents just don't understand. Like,
tell me fresh, Dad.
Like, Dad, you literally don't understand you're bald. How can you understand what a haircut expense is like? It's terrible.
You never empathize.
Of course you don't get it. Like, it's terrible. It's terrible. But
bold haircut choice.
It's like, here's the thing is that when I have the haircut, there's a shift in like the natural interaction that I have with random person X is like the immediate trajectory, like my ability to just walk away smoothly with what I was like hoping for. Like, oh, let me see if I can like return this thing, or like let me see if I can procure this drink order right here, or let me see if I can like get this person to be okay with like this kind of unfortunate thing.
The food's taking a long time.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever it might be, you know, it just seemed like I could more easily go
hit your desired outcome
and then get out of there, you know. And then
get out clean.
That was one side of it, and then the other side of it too is like people just I think here's a fucking fundamental rule is that if you present yourself well, people have a higher natural baseline of respect for you. And then that's like a baseline rule, right? I think
100%.
You could agree with that?
Yeah, I think that's definitely 100% true just in and of itself. And then also like how you present yourself, and then I guess what I was thinking more like concretely to like stamp that point down is definitely like body language as well. It's like simple body language. It's like how are you literally presenting yourself standing as well, or you know, like your posture. It's like you're like fucking Superman, or you're just like fucking I'm scared.
Hey, what's up, pussy? Hey, guy, look at this guy. What is he, scared?
Me? I hope not talking about me.
Worst case scenario. These are my nightmares.
Nightmares. These are all of our social nightmares. Even if you don't fucking think about this shit consciously.
Yeah, seriously.
It drives a lot of people's behavior to act to avoid this at all costs.
Yeah.
Even if it means being a fucking social jackass.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Right. It's crazy. Like to avoid vulnerability or whatever that like your specific social nightmare is.
Insecurities.
To like really avoid. Yeah. Exactly. Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. And those are now it's not so bad. Like I feel like I'm not prone to insecurity as nearly as much as when you're like 16.
Yeah.
Because then it's like not your whole life, but it's like thin ice. Everything is thin ice all around you.
Yeah, it could be make or break any moment.
Yeah.
You shit yourself in class one time, you're done. Your high school career is done, kid.
Here's the thing.
You shit yourself freshman year, you're always the kid who shit himself forever.
You're playing a dangerous game, kid. Tread lightly, brother. Just to your kid on the way out the door to school.
Don't embarrass his family. Don't embarrass his family.
Dude, here's the thing. If you shit yourself one time at work,
you're
not recovering there either, bro. Like, we're all playing a delicate game.
I think we might be a little more, I don't know. I was just going to say we might be a little bit more, what's the word? Forgiving or understanding as you get into more adulthood and a little more maturation. But I don't know. People, it could be worse. It could be worse. People could be even more harsh if it was bad in high school or whatever.
Yeah.
People have their own undealt with drama, and they just be calling people out, looking for people to fall.
I can think one of our coworkers who, by the end of his tenure with us, a lot of people were like, you know, not super upset when he left.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, every day his behavior was like, there were social ramifications for his behavior every single day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like he ultimately alienated himself from the group, like so much so that whenever they debated, like, shouldn't we let this guy go?
Exile.
Exile. And then you look at the group, and then the group's like, they'd almost agree with us. You know what I'm saying? That's not gonna have ramifications in the society for getting rid of this person. and that's like tough, man, because I guess what I'm saying is there are social ramifications for our behaviors in existence, like right now too. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they're not so like touchy that if you like break your shoe or something like, or like if your belt broke in school, you're fucked. Like, might get made fun of the rest of that whole day. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then like, who knows how long it's gonna take for them to forget when your fucking belt broke or your belt snapped.
Uh-huh.
And like, it's like not the same, but it is the same. Like the social ramifications are still there now. It's just like
Mm-hmm.
they're a little more layered in there. You know what I'm saying? We're all a little more mature enough not to be like, like
Hopefully.
hopefully,
For the most part.
we're like looking for it when we're kids.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
a free for all. It's like a war zone for social, like not clout, but just like
Mm-hmm.
everybody wants to be liked and not be disliked. You know?
Yeah, at the very least, you don't want to be outcast, or at the very least, you don't want to be, the one getting laughed at. You at least want nothing. Just at least don't notice me, you know,
Yeah.
or let me blend into the rest of the zebras. Let me just do my thing. But yeah, to be the outcast or be the center of negative attention.
Right. Okay. So
But people are just fucking crazy. Sorry, what were you saying?
no, please.
Oh, no, I was just saying because I don't care, or like I guess me personally on my experience level, I like. The narrative is the narrative, and I don't really care which way it goes per se. Like if I have to take in information of what's happening and how people are acting. We all have to categorize what's going on here and who everyone is and how to interact with everyone. So it's like, but there are some people, as we were kind of talking about, like that are kind of looking for to point a finger and to highlight someone's trip and fall and to highlight someone's downlights. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Their bad sides. So, but like, I guess that feeling of looking for something to highlight that's negative, to I guess get light off of yourself stems from like an insecurity place. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, if someone shits themselves or someone trips, like I'm gonna fucking laugh. Like I'm just gonna fucking laugh, dog. I'm sorry. Like it just is the moment. But I'm not like, oh, look at this, he laughed. I got it on film. It's on TikTok. It's like I'm not trying to bring any extra attention to it. I'm just observing the moment. And if within the moment something funny happens or whatever, someone makes an ass of themselves, I'm just gonna take it for what it is and then like keep rolling with it. But I'm not gonna try to blow it out of proportion or like bring extra attention and light to it.
Yeah.
I'm just, it is what it is.
Those people are the worst.
Yeah, I'm not gonna try to hold that person to that either. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the person to be like, well, this guy pissed his pants back in kindergarten. Remember that?
I can't vote for this guy for
If I did-
congressman.
Yeah, where it's like I'll have that in my log of information because it's just something that happened that I observed, or like a part of the narrative happening that's going on here that I'm a part of as well. So it's like in my logs. I can't just take it out of my log, but like the amount of effect I have it or I let it have on me or in my projection going forward socially, it's like none. It's like if you give me more examples of your current behavior, it's like I'm more going to respect that or more going to use that to project into the future what's going to more likely happen. It's like this person used to be on some shit, on some bullshit, but then XYZ happened, and now my interactions with them over the last 2-3 weeks, a month, have been like all positive, and I've like been watching them be on top of their shit and work extra hard or whatever, or like turn the corner or turn a new leaf. It's like, okay, I'll let that take the narrative going forward. I'm not going to try to hold them to the old personality or the old actions in the past just because it fits what I think's happening, or, you know,
or what you want to happen.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the other
Right.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that we want people to change. You want people to get over stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like you want.
Yeah, we want people to win.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's
Us personally. I'm not sure about everybody.
True. Yeah. We have that recency bias where it's like how you're acting now is more important to me than like, you know, where you were. Because you don't want to hold anybody to that. You don't want to be held to that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We all want an opportunity to be able to like, hold on, let me fucking like tighten up, get the ship straight.
I could be born again, or I could. That's dead, or whatever.
I can let it go.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm different now. This is different.
That's like grace, right? And I think, you know, I want grace so bad, just in general from God. Like I want that ability to, like, let go of the, you know, you're deadwood for sure, but just like those worst sides of yourself, like especially on the pursuit of sanctification. Like if you're trying to become your best self, if you're trying to become like something that you're not, then of course you want the grace to let go of the things that are holding you back from that, you know? So I think that's why I'm like hoping that people, like my interactions going forward will just start being better.
Yeah.
Like you said, like if I have like one solid good interaction with somebody that I don't normally have good interactions with, I'm like inspired by that. I'm like, okay, if like 2 or 3 or 4 of those, and like all of a sudden maybe this isn't gonna be so annoying or whatever it is, you know, like
whatever it is.
I think in your
In what
social
way?
life, there's like different points, and there's people that like up your energy and you like agree with them and things are great, and then you have people that you're like in disagreements or disordance with, or you guys have discord, even if it's like in subtlety, and those things like weigh out on you as your energy moves through your social standing. And if you can like flip the negatives to positives, then it's like less stress and less energy exerted throughout the day. You can like just glide more through everything.
Less dread.
Yeah,
You know,
for sure.
you're like, oh, here we go.
So in the name of that, like one of the principles is just if you present yourself well, you'll be respected more. And then there's another principle that's like, or just like through that lens, you can see that like if you present yourself sharp, like if you come in looking really sharp, then you'll get some clean respect. Be like,
Yeah.
oh damn.
Yeah, that's kind of the premise of that, or like coming into a fucking establishment with a suit on, see what pranks we can pull.
Yeah. Coming in like hot, like super looking sharp. People are almost stunned a little bit. They're like, oh shit, what is right this way, sir? Like,
Yeah,
let me show you
for real.
What's he looking for?
You must be the important person coming through to make sure that shit's going well, or shit's legal, or fucking whatever, like in accordance with the universe. Got
And
that pull. But
you might just be saying to yourself right now, like, yeah, but that's like I'm sure it's only a little modifier. I'm sure it's not like when my dad's like, you need a haircut every week, and I'm like, you don't know, I'm a black hole of pee, Dad. You don't understand like what kind of doors open up when I come in with this cut. And then, but like legitimately, you might think like that's just such a small modifier. Couldn't you just like your personality would shine through? It ain't about the car; it's about the player that's up in it. Like, but the thing that's kind of crazy about like the suit and like when you come in like really looking really sharp is that I think people would just like, oh, right this way, sir. Let me show you what you're looking for. You're looking for Vault 345. This must be the fucking guy that's I'll show you right there. Like it's kind of crazy.
yeah, there's something there.
There's something there
Because we have to figure. We're all trying to figure out what the hell's going on here. What the hell's going on? Who are we and who are these people? Or everyone we're interacting with, who are they presenting themselves to be, and who are they really? It's definitely 2 different questions. But
yeah, it is.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a feeling process, because someone could present the front. That's what fucking scam artists, you know what I'm saying? It's just a fucking front. Or
Scam artists all around.
whatever it is. Yeah, people are scamming us socially. It's not even all
Nearly
diet-
everyone is.
Yeah.
Nearly everyone is.
Yeah, nearly everyone's a scam artist,
Seriously.
or being scammed, or being led to believe something or another for some reason or another that they're not completely even consciously aware of. But yeah, so there's a whole bunch of we got to figure out what's going on here. We're trying to figure out who people are. So like we read body language and we read how people present themselves. So it is important to get that haircut, or at least in my estimation,
It makes me.
and it makes me feel good.
Makes
It's like, for me,
Yeah. It literally makes my job easier.
in the app.
I literally think I make more money when I have it. Like, it makes my job easier, the guest relation side of it and the leadership side of it. Because it's like, yeah, if I just present myself like a slob, you know what I'm saying? Who the fuck's gonna want to follow you? But if you come in like just really looking like your fucking back's up and you're ready to go and you're focused and you look fucking clean, it's like I can follow that guy. Like I think that's anybody, you know what I'm saying, in any field.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that too, or thinking about. I guess I was breaking it down even further a little bit, because it's like you could present yourself with the suit energy or whatever it is, that business professionalism, that I guess that's kind of what it is, professionalism, that fucking honcho, that boss, the one who's in charge, the one whose judgment we're following, the one who's leading us more or less. That's kind of like the suit, what the suit energy embodies for anyone, men and women, whatever. But also there's like, if we were just like take away clothes in general, you know what I'm saying? Just coming in like fucking, we're like meat suited up, bro. You know what I'm saying? Coming fucking suited and gooted, bro.
Dude.
Come in with your back straight, dog, and your fucking biceps sore.
Yeah. It's hard to do.
Yes.
It's hard to do. It's hard to build what you built.
So it's something like, it's like the same thing that the suit would give, like that appearance or that energy of professionalism and leadership. It's there's something there with the body as well. If we're able to do that, just like the way we present ourselves with the clothes we choose to wear, but then if you take away all the clothes and material things, and like what do we have left? It's like you present yourself with the habits and your processes and your systems that you've set in place and your beliefs and what's valuable and what's worth doing. And And we know that when you see someone who's jacked, it's like, you can't even like, you can't help but give it something. Something comes out of you, whether it's positive or negative, something comes out. Because it's like, we see it and we know there's something there. It's like it goes beyond the suit. It's like it's even deeper than that. It's just like, we know it's so hard to do. We know the task and the cost of what that is.
For sure. Everyone has weighed out working out.
Yeah, everyone has to deal with this fucking body thing.
At some point, you've wanted to be jacked. At some point, you were like, I want a six pack. And then you try to get
even
a
if you were a kid, whenever, especially when you were a kid.
Yeah, right?
You want to be a superhero. You want to be Spider-Man. You want to be Wolverine or any of these motherfuckers who are yoked up.
Right.
The Hulk.
And then it's really difficult. So you see someone that has it, you're like, yo, you might be like, fuck that guy. Like the two cars. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At least I don't look like
fuck
that.
that guy. At least I ain't that pussy.
Yeah, exactly. You could be like that, but like regardless, it commands respect.
Something comes out of you. Yeah.
It commands something for sure.
We gotta address it.
Then
so it's important.
There's the flip side of like with the haircut, it reminds me of the body.
I was gonna say, because you gotta watch yourself. I was thinking like, why do you care about it then, or like, why is it important to you? Because I was like, because this is important to me. Because I don't really care. Sounds kind of fucked up. I don't really care about what, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, this is my game that I'm playing here. Like, I gotta control this fucking guy.
Yeah.
I gotta live with this guy.
Yeah.
I gotta watch this guy.
Have to.
I got to.
You gotta eat that fruit.
Fortunately and unfortunately.
Right. And
Sorry, what were you saying?
That, like,
the haircut, the body.
Right. Oh, that things just cost like a sacrifice.
Yes.
Like the haircut is literally just like time
Financial
sacrifice and
time.
a money exactly. And then my barber's kind of far too, so it's like
extra time and extra finance.
Exactly. It's like a 3-hour time sacrifice, and then it's an expensive haircut too. You know what I'm saying? But like in my mind, I almost justify it easily because I'm like, all these things are sacrifices. Like the gym is a time and energy sacrifice. Work is a time and energy sacrifice. Like the eating the right food is like a dopamine sacrifice. It's like you either sacrifice or you don't. And if you're sacrificing in order to procure this version of yourself that like you said, like clothless, you would be like, it's not like it's not like I want respect because I need respect like that. It's like I want to be a person who is respectable. Like I think, right,
within my own estimation.
Yeah, exactly, right. Like otherwise, are you even living like a life worth living? You know what I'm saying? If you're not like being what you deem would be worth being, Yeah,
we're getting in there now, brother.
Right. Yeah. So that's the body thing too. Is that like if you do deem having a nice body as something that's like worthy, and then you like don't pursue that, that's like that disconnect, that discord that's high on my priority list to deal with. Like trying to be the person I want to be first. You know?
Yeah. It's a strange. It's like I guess it's kind of like attached to pride, or it's like feeling proud about yourself, or feeling like at least like accepting. You know what I'm saying? At least like I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
Like it might not be where I want to be, or look how I want to look, or whatever it is exactly, but like I'm still I'm putting in my 2 cents every day. I'm coming in and I'm showing it. I'm clocking in on time and I'm leaving late. You know what I'm saying? I'm showing up early and leaving late, leaving it all out on the floor, whatever the hell you're doing day to day. At the end of your life, you're gonna have to fucking be like, I accept that, or like I'm okay with this. I'm here for it. But if you don't have that within yourself, it's like fucking you put yourself in hell, or like I think you probably partially, I think you kind of generate what you expect, It's like not that you get what you deserve exactly, but you get what you prepare for. And like if you're subconsciously thinking about we all think about ourselves, because as we're talking about, we have to think about other people too. We're all trying to make sense of this fucking social thing that we're all in. And we do the same thing with ourselves. So like as our own one-on-one basis, like who we are with ourselves, like looking in the mirror. And it's like if you're able to have that, I guess, thought about who this person is and how this story is going to go when you're watching a movie, you kind of know or have a hope and an idea about how the arcs are going to play out, or what's going to happen. From A to B, you watch the movie, and then from B to C, you're trying to figure out what's going to happen. You kind of project forward what you think is going to happen based on all the character actions and who that character has presented themselves to be so far throughout the movie. So then if you're watching a movie of your life, and then you just like, you're projecting forward, you're trying to figure out what's going to happen to this character that is you, that you're living at the same time. So you're trying to like I think, and also in that projection, you kind of helps create it and like self-manifest as well. But it's like if you deem yourself to be someone who's not deserving of blessings or someone who's like on a downward trend, like you can't refute that from your own narrative, from your own movie observation. Like we all have that. Like we're watching movies objectively all the time, and we just like think about these things as the characters are doing them. But if you're gonna be watching your own movie and you deem yourself not to be a person, or you do deem yourself a person who's like putting in hard work and like has a good heart, or it's like a good person and is genuinely and generally and genuinely not trying to fuck people over, or always trying to do like the right thing or whatever, trying their hardest, then like things typically work out for that character for the best. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, but if you don't think that about yourself, then you will prepare and expect your character to fucking
people to hurt you,
something bad to happen.
Fuck it up.
Yes. Yeah.
And then when those, like moments like occur, like there's like, I'm sure even someone on a downward trajectory, like you get that moment where you could like, you have like a saving grace and you're like, oh, I could like start the upward trend again.
Yeah,
like,
or at least stop the descent.
Right.
It's like at least flatline right here for a little bit and then try to scoop back up.
But like when that moment occurs, it's like if you're expecting yourself to fuck it up, sometimes you just fuck it up because it's like, you know.
It's what this character does. It's what this character, that's how he always acts.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's like someone that can't hold a job and then you get someone's like, dude, I got a job for you. Like, you want to start doing this with me? And then they're like already going into it thinking like, well, I'm the person that can't hold a job. So like as soon as that opportunity comes.
We'll see how this goes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But you could easily be like, not easily, but kind of quite simply.
Simply, yes.
Change your expectation for the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm doing this.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta have some sort of belief about yourself we do have a belief about ourselves regardless. So then I guess ideally you try to have that, try to make as many proper sacrifices as you can to give yourself enough justification and evidence that this person is someone who's things are gonna work out for in the end, ultimately.
True.
And it's sacrifice to get there. It's sacrifice. You can't just have that for yourself. You know what I'm saying? You got to earn your own respect, and you got to do the shit that's hard. And you're talking about sacrifice, and it hit in my head that there's like the sacrifice of the things that you choose to do, and there's also the sacrifices of the things that you choose not to do. It's like both. Mm. It's like you gotta like when you go into the gym, it's like that's just like I have to go do sacrifice. And then when you choose to not go out with the boys, or when you choose to not have that drink when you're out with the boys or whatever, it's like that's another sacrifice of the withholding of pleasure or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like the voluntary action of picking up the fucking weight, and then also the time to restrain whenever everyone else is getting turned or whatever the metaphor is. Yeah.
Yeah. You're making sacrifices to this thing that you're trying to manifest.
Yes.
You don't want it to become a god, but it almost is like a shrine. It almost is like you're making sacrifices in faith. You know what I'm saying? That you can procure this thing that's like your body. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to sacrifice like a ton of days and all that stuff so that hopefully you can like have something that's like esoteric and you don't really know exists. You're like, these people say you get it. And like, I see jacked people and like YouTube makes it like real. Like if you do this, you'll get that. But like, I don't know for sure, you know, you gotta learn or sacrifice until it starts to manifest. And then you're like, oh, these are worthy sacrifices. Like the things that I want to happen are happening. And then life becomes a system of that, a system of sacrifice, a system of discipline so that you can manifest things that are hard to come by, you know, like a degree is like 4 years of sacrifice, you know. You got to create a system of making proper sacrifices so that you can make good enough grades so that you can achieve something.
Yeah, you got to make yourself the person who can make those sacrifices. That's another person.
That's what I think.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Is this character the one who makes the proper sacrifices?
That's what I think, brother. But also, yeah, I don't know if that many. Some people just go to school and drink a little bit and work out a little bit and they get through just fine. And now they're fucking, you know, working at some accounting firm. They just like, I'm like, let me figure out how I could be the best offensive coordinator. What kind of schemes is the league running? Like, what are the best teams? What do they run? Okay, who's got the most passing yards? Okay, I think I want to be a guy who does this. What's the meta truth of offense? You know, like we really get in there and start trying to figure out a way to like really optimize that. Whatever it is, you know, I don't know if that's just like obsessing about stuff or sometimes I think if we could just float on by, you could just float on through life. You don't even got to think too much about it.
I think you could.
But you don't get this jacked.
You don't do it.
Unless you fucking think about it. Unless you develop a system for becoming that person. Yeah, you're a system maker. You're a system manager.
Yeah.
Almost like scientist, system manager. Child of God's up at the top.
Yeah.
You know?
You run all these experiments and trying to procure this feeling of worthiness, I guess. Or just, I guess ultimately
self-respect.
Self-respect. And trying to figure out who you are.
Because once you respect yourself, like, and you expect good things to happen to you, it's a fine line, bro. Because, like, I remember just balling out my mind at work and taking, like, such great pride. Like, not pride, like, pride's a weird word because it's, like, kind of split between, like, pride is the devil. Devil got a hold on me. Like, you don't want that. But, like, if you take pride, like, if you have a beautiful garden in your backyard.
It's ego-driven. Or pride is, like, ego-centric in nature. Unfortunately, but it's important.
I also have an ego.
You're building your life around your own self-respect and pride.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because you gotta live with that and die with it, and no one else is gonna be there with you. You know what I'm saying? But sorry, I think we got a little off track. But we were talking about pride for what we're talking about.
Like if you have a beautiful garden in your backyard and like you work on it. And you're like passionate about it.
Oh, your pride at work. There we go.
Yeah.
Because you're working.
Like you take pride in what you do. You know what I'm saying? Like I took great pride in being good at my job.
Mm-hmm. And it's like doing it right or doing it properly.
Yeah. And then having beautiful result and then really getting into the nuances of like, you know, for me, it was like person to person interaction or like the nuances of social interaction or like the way that someone comes into a place expecting presentation. Here's an example of like in my free time, I spend time just going over the film and just thinking and trying to draw conclusions like that I didn't really see before, you know? So one of the conclusions that I drew recently is that experience, like places provide experience, right? So let's talk about like the Sphere in Las Vegas. That's random, just pulled it out of the air.
Love it.
Right? That's an experience.
Hell yeah, it is.
Right?
This shit was tight.
They're selling you.
We went there. It's tight.
It's tight. It's fucking awesome.
It's cool.
Super worth it. Like IMAX was like worth it. You had to go to the IMAX ones. This is way better than that. Like, it's worth the trip of your spirit to be like, I should go do this.
It's trippy. It's cool.
They're providing an experience, but like experience alone, I don't think it's enough to. Here's the other side of the thought is like, I think experience is meant to be had with people. Like you and your friends are supposed to go to the experience it together, digest it the way that you digest it, and then leave with each other. So that way, like the experience giving is like part of the experience as a whole, but the other part of the experience is the experiencing of it. Yes,
it's like the movie and then like the going to the theaters experience.
Right. Like the movie.
Like even at the Sphere, it was like a movie. I guess they do concerts there and shit. They're gonna do a UFC event there as well. But we saw like a movie more or less there.
Yeah,
it was like a not interactive exactly, but it was kind of like a immersive. Like the seats vibrated and the whole screen was crazy as fuck and the sound was crazy. But it was more or less a movie. So there was like the actual movie that we're watching in the Sphere and being entertained by the technology, and then also there's the getting there, finding our seats, checking out the area, getting a drink, leaving, and all that.
Drawing thoughts. That's the experience. Taking it in, like exactly.
Yeah.
For me in the restaurant, like the steak,
the food you're eating.
Yeah, it's not the whole like it is. It should be the driving cause of why you're at a restaurant.
That's the climax of the movie.
Right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm getting in here. He's going crazy.
But I think it's the digesting of the experience, which you would have to do ideally with the people that you're there with, to be like, this steak is amazing. It's like telling that person the steak is amazing is more of the experience than experiencing the steak itself.
Yeah.
And so if you go somewhere alone per se, it's hard for you to like. Yes, you could just sit there, I guess, kind of stoically and enjoy the experience of like
watching a movie by yourself,
right?
Or like going to the movie theaters by yourself,
right?
That's a little different.
It's a little different. I don't know. I like that you're giving me some feedback now because like I do like watching Netflix by myself in my apartment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's what I was saying was different. Like watching a movie by yourself at home versus going to the movie theater. Because part of the experience of going to the movie theater is going with the people.
Yeah, for sure. Telling them what you think about the movie, like having that moment where you're like
talking about you're like,
yeah, right.
We're talking about the trailers. There we go.
Yeah,
that's the other thing.
Or even just like when I went the last time I went to a really nice restaurant by myself, like I'm talking, being like telling the chef, like, yo, this is crazy. This is crazy. Like that there's something to experiencing the thing and then like the experience of experiencing the thing. That's really what you're there for.
Yes.
And so there's a split. It's like as a product, as someone selling a product or selling an experience, it's like you can't, it's such a, like you need people to want to come in with whomever their social group is and experience the thing through their own lenses, through their own like conversation, through their own perception. Like the presentation can't be in totality like the full experience. It's going to be the reaction to the presentation that is the full experience.
Yes.
So as the presenter, you really don't have control over, like you kind of, so that's why I kind of like making a show of it, because that's all they're coming
at the restaurant.
Yeah. Like if your spiel to a table is more like, I can definitely be informative and tell you all of the things that you would want to know, right? But I think if I just present it like, welcome to this magnificent place. We do this incredible thing and this incredible thing and this incredible thing. Like I'm not necessarily perceiving their needs and understanding exactly what they want in that moment and then giving them the direct information. I'm just like making a show of what it is to be at like a very high-end restaurant. Because I think when people go to high-end restaurants, like that's the thing, they kind of want to be like amazed and shook. They're like, this should be crazy, right?
Yeah.
And then when they sit down in their extremely nice clothes in this like really nice place, and then the presentation of the restaurant just like starts to unfold, I think that like that experience is almost just as important as how the steak tastes. Because it's like
big time.
They're there to digest the experience, not necessarily digest the food or digest the drinks. It's like they're there for something bigger than that, the experience of it.
Big time. Yeah, that's why, yeah, it's like going or choosing to go to the restaurant versus just buying the same cut of meat virtually. So I guess some of it's like highly allocated items. You can't buy this stuff at the supermarket. But some of the cuts at some steakhouses or some restaurants, you can buy and make yourself. But so yeah, why would you go? Because I guess one, you don't want to do the work. I'm prepping all that and making all that and cleaning all that. So we do all that for you.
True.
More or less. But then also there's a presentation of the like, I guess I was talking about like the actual food item itself. But then there's also everything outside of that. Everything that goes into the presentation of that dish is like the restaurant itself, all the staff, everyone's uniforms, everyone's like mannerisms and hospitality and the warmth, or I guess ideally if you have like some sociable people working for you in the restaurant, it's definitely a more immersive and more engaging experience, and I guess more of an experience at all versus just eating a meal.
Yeah.
At your home. So I guess you were trying to say that you kind of play that up or play into that.
Yeah, I think that definitely
because you have to kind of.
Yeah,
that's why they're there.
Exactly. If it's your fourth time at the Sphere, you might be more interested in like whether or not the movie's a good movie. You're like, oh, the last movie I saw was just kind of like showing off all of the, the 3D effects and the rumble seats, but it wasn't a good story. So,
yeah.
So maybe the more you go, the more you're going to look for that more depth to be there, like that specific information, which is good. Like as a restaurant, you should also be able to give that too. But I think for that like first time guest or for somebody who's there, not as like a nuanced restaurant goer per se, someone who's there to enjoy a high end restaurant, you should definitely, it should be like a lot of show. It should be like, I think.
Yeah, be a little bit of a showman.
Yeah, for sure. That's the thing.
There's a line to be too showy, or you know what I'm saying, like too salesy or whatever it is. If you cross inauthentic territory.
Yes.
It's like, oh, this person's just fucking playing it up. But like if you legitimately care and you legitimately want to have this person or these people have a good experience, then you need, I think a little bit of that showmanship is in there. You know what I'm saying? It's like I find myself when I'm at a table or I'm at whether it's like 5 people, 6 people, or 2 people, or 10 people, or whatever. It's like you're more or less just like a fucking stand-up comedian, dog, doing crowd work.
Yeah,
that's kind of how I've been thinking about it the last like month or two.
Yeah,
I'm just like, hey, what's going on? What were you doing tonight? How y'all doing? Or whatever, and just like, I don't know. You gotta have some sort of something. I guess it is kind of like being a showman. Yeah, being like a stand-up comedian or someone who's on stage. Someone who's like has attention, like you have my attention, fucking do something with it. Like,
yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. They want that.
Not like you don't need to dance exactly, but you need to, I guess there's some sort of an expectation there. Everyone has their own expectation of how someone's supposed to be or be like present the restaurant of this nice restaurant, quote unquote, wherever you go. Definitely trying to not judge exactly, but we're all trying to make sense of what the fuck's going on here, and the expectation is a big part of that. So yeah, I think there is a definite piece about that hospitality, the showmanship aspect, the presentation, because I think we're all just experiencing things.
Yeah, exactly.
We're experiencing our experience.
Yes. That there's just a split there. That's the thing that I don't know what to do with it yet. I don't have a bigger thought about it, or like I haven't put it into a space yet, but I'm like, there's the experience of the experience is what people are experiencing. They're not necessarily experiencing the steak. Like they are, but they're not. They're there to experience the experience.
It's just a small piece. It's like one of the Russian dolls, and it's like goes deeper and deeper and deeper, or wider and wider and wider.
It's nuts. And so if you want that, if what your desired outcome is a 5-star experience, or I guess it's a metaphor for like deemably as good as it can be, like couldn't have been better. That was it. That was
perfect.
I came for a perfect time. That was perfect time. Asking for any more than what I got would be like, I'm sure they would have done it.
Unfair.
Yeah. Right. So like if that's your desired outcome, then like the cradling of the experience is like kind of important. Like you need the whole thing to be dope. You need it to feel like an awesome place. You need it to I don't know.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the experience of the experience. And I was just thinking about like whenever people are watching, or like why vlogs are a thing, because it's like we're experiencing their own experience. And we like that. Yeah. We like it enough, so much so that we'll watch other people experience things. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
We'll watch other people play video games, or watch other people go out to dinner. And
yeah.
What the fuck ever. So many people are streaming nowadays. It's crazy. This is more or less a stream.
Yeah, especially if we're not experiencing anything, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you're bored.
Yeah.
You're chilling.
Like,
no obligations.
What kind of experiences are there to be experienced?
Yeah.
Like, check it out.
Yeah. Yeah, we're getting, what is that? We're getting weird. It's like back in the day, you would kill to have, I guess, way back in the day, before we even had like game systems, you were just like fucking filling your time with other shit, passing the time, or being your bored time. Not a whole lot of things to do to kill your bored time. I guess you could read or play video games outside, or not play video games, play games outside with your imagination and your homies or whatever the fuck. But then at that time, you were killing to have like an N64 or some sort of GameCube or some sort of simple Atari or something to play with. And then we got video games introduced, and it's like, okay, here we go. Here's how I want to kill my bored time. And then now we have bored time, and it's like, instead of playing the game, we'll just watch someone else play the game. Sometimes I guess it makes sense because they play at a higher level. It's like watching professional basketball. Would you rather go play basketball yourself? Like, why don't you go play some else, like some fucking pick up basketball? It's like, I'd rather watch Anthony Edwards and Luka and fucking Anthony Davis or whatever.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch all these all-stars play at a high level. So I guess that makes sense as to why some people will stream or watch some streamers. But not every streamer is professional, and not every streamer's very talented at the game they're playing. There's entertaining.
The experiences.
The experience, whatever.
The experience they provide of you experiencing their experience is what you were looking for. People provide that. It's so weird. That's so weird.
We're fucking weird creatures, bro. We're getting more detached.
So weird.
So you're gonna watch someone play VR, or like watch someone play VR?
Yeah.
It's getting weird.
No, I did that a lot. I did that a lot during COVID. Just watch videos of other people playing VR for the first time. And not like a streamer being like, all right, I'm gonna try this new game. And then they're like, whoa, this is crazy. And you're like, whoa, that's crazy. And it's, you're digesting them digest. It's so weird.
Yeah.
I think it's just because it's available, right?
Social interaction.
You're like, it's like a drug almost. And you're like, well, I can't get the full hit, but I got these little resin hits of experience by experiencing someone. I can't play that game. I don't have a VR headset, but I can experience this guy experiencing it.
Yeah.
And so it's like we'll take what we can get sometimes.
Yeah.
Like someone, like if you just really want to play Valorant, and then you get to work and you're like watching a stream of Valorant while you're at work, like, it's because you wish you were experiencing Valorant.
Yeah. Partially,
like, I can't right now, but I can't get this.
Strange creatures experiencing experience.
It's weird. We're all weird. There's people in.
We're fucking crazy.
Grace's. I'm not talking shit when I say this, but like Grace has a Discord where her friends all play video games, and so like we'll go to that Discord channel if we're gonna like play 5-on-5 Valorant, or if we're playing like League play or something like that. And there's people who will join the channel and then put it on mute in their AirPod while they're at work so that they can hang out even though they're muted and deafened. So, or like
they can't even hear.
They can hear, but they can't
they're
talk
muted.
into
Yeah,
it.
okay, I see what you're saying.
But just so that they can like experience the experience of their friends experiencing the video games while they're not even available to do it. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm just
At
like,
that point, it was a podcast.
yeah, they're just like listening to the podcast of their friends hooping. And I'm just like, that's tight. I get it. Like,
Yeah.
if I was doing the mindless thing, I might pop in for an hour.
Yeah, it's cool that we have that ability now. Or like,
Yeah.
we never had that in history. At least,
No.
I don't know. Fucking God knows what's going on with Egypt. But we never had that in our recent history. Our recent past. For the last couple 100 years, definitely not. Not even last 20, 30 years. It's like, this shit's gotten crazy, everyone. We're fucking live streaming everything. Streaming, podcasting.
We watch a lot of Food Network even before we had streams.
Mm-hmm.
You're experiencing someone experience food.
Yeah.
That's okay. So this thing is real. You can even take it to a third dimension, right?
Yeah.
But it's like the experience is bigger than the moment. Like the going to the movies is bigger than the movie.
Big
you
time.
know?
Mm-hmm.
There's something there. There's something we're selling there.
Yeah, it's an experience. Or it's like when I think of going to the movies, like my experience of going to the movies is going to like fucking Dollar General or HEB and getting some snacks, sneaking them in, getting your tickets, getting some popcorn or whatever, talking about the trailers as they're happening, watching the movie, and then leaving the movie theater, getting in the car and talking about your favorite parts of the movie with your homies or your family. And then getting home and then continuing life. And then maybe every once in a while bring it up. If it was a good movie, you'll bring it up often.
Right. Right.
It's like, remember that shit? That shit was awesome, bro. That one part or whatever.
Yeah. Or you keep bringing up something funny that happened.
Or a funny dialogue or
Yeah.
something. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's the experience of the movie. It's way longer than just an hour and a half of movie.
Yes.
It's deeper, more. That's like the surface level. And there's like just fucking sea, just in infinite amounts of sea level, deep
Yeah.
of depth and nuance to this shit. It's experiencing experience.
And for a restaurant, there's like a lot of little things that make up that experience. Like if someone wants a cocktail and they just give you a spirit and then you suggest a cocktail that they agree with you on. So first of all, you got to like think of a good thing and then you got to present it with enough confidence that they're like down to take the risk of just listening to you. And then you get them the cocktail. Then the bartenders make it delicious, first of all. And then they actually do like it. That's huge. That's huge because what we're doing is like creating the experience of an elevated restaurant experience.
Mm-hmm.
And then normally when you go somewhere that's not, sure, you can be like, get a recommendation anywhere. But like when you're at a really nice place, you're hoping that recommendation is like really, that the drink is amazing and the recommendation's hidden.
Yeah.
Like
it blows you away.
Right. You kind of want to be like, damn, this is exactly what I was looking for. This is delicious. Like,
Yeah, it's like it tastes delicious is like one thing, but like the deeper level is the experience of getting something recommended to you by like a professional, quote unquote.
yes.
And trying something new.
Also because that doesn't really happen anywhere else.
Newish.
Like,
Yeah.
I think it's in relation to what's available in the marketplace, like your normal experience when you go out. It's like,
Yes.
how often do you go out to eat somewhere and then like you need a refill and you don't get a refill and you're like, this waiter sucks. Like that's such a common thing. Like even if it doesn't happen every time you go out, it does happen, and then you're like, man, service really gone to shit since COVID. You know, I can't even get a fucking refill in this place. Like,
I've heard that comment a couple of times for sure.
right.
Uh-huh.
So that's why I think like the water service is so important at our place because
Yeah.
it's like every annoying thing that could happen to you somewhere doesn't happen there.
Yeah, it's supposed to be fundamentals. It's like we touch the line on our suicides. Okay? We go and we touch the fucking line with our hand. Like
Yeah,
we're not cutting corners on this shit.
for sure.
Mm.
But the capacity for those corners to get cut at a regular restaurant is almost like natural sometimes. You're like, oh well, he's busy. He's taking care of all these people. You know, he's running around, and you like kind of like make the nice person at the table make excuses for the restaurant, and the critical person at the table says points out all their flaws, and then can be a typical restaurant experience. That's why I feel like there needs to be no flaws and all of the good sides need to be like super accentuated. And then eventually you rip away what is the normal dining experience. And they're just like, take me on a ride, journeyman. Where are we going? And I'm like, to ecstasy.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's deeper than that. The experience is crazy.
So I think that's like translating that to life.
Uh-huh.
like the experience of the experience is the delicious thing. Like that's what we came to do. It's like not even any one moment. It's like the experience of the experience.
Yeah, that's why it's important to not just give into one moment. Just do a whole bunch of Coke and cake.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because you're experiencing that experience in that one particular moment might be nice, but you're experiencing that, and it carries the same way that one movie or that one meal will carry to the next year. Or like your fucking 21st birthday, you'll remember like, oh, I remember that one time at that place we got that one drink and it was fucking awesome on 21st birthday. Remember that? You'll talk about that in 10, 20 years.
For real.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
you can't just, that one night of Coke and cake is going to live with you forever, kid. So is it worth it?
That's crazy. That's crazy. It's crazy how one night of Coke and cake will live with you forever, but one workout doesn't live with you 2 days.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Imperceivable.
That's crazy. That's why you have to be such a system manager, though. That's the thing that we deal with is like the negative ramifications are so high, and the positive ramifications take so long to develop positive result.
Yeah.
Like you could spend all your money in one day, but you couldn't make all your money in one day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you could destroy a house in a day for sure. Sledgehammer, you're good to go.
Be awesome.
You could destroy a garden, but it takes so long to grow it.
That's crazy,
So
right?
long. Mm-hmm.
But it's the experience of the experience. Part of the experience might be your garden getting fucked up. You know?
Yeah.
Like I think that's how you're supposed to have perspective. Like, how do you get out of the cycle of bad things happening to you, or like the cycle of expecting terrible things to happen? It's like some kind of appreciation for the experience, some kind of like belief that your experience is bigger than that one moment, that your whole life experience is like not stuck there. You know, like some blind faith that you can do something else and go another direction.
Yeah. Big time. You could change your story. It could be better. It could turn around or whatever. Yeah, a little bit of blind faith to believe in that.
Yeah.
At least a little bit.
Taking it back to getting a haircut.
Yes.
Looking sharp
Fucking love it.
commands like a higher elevation. It's like people just will respect you more. And then there's also a part about it that's like, I don't want people's like, I'm not doing it for that outside opinion. It's like, I am trying to foster like that respectability for myself. Like I'm trying to
Yes.
believe that I'm someone that's worth my own respect. So like the way the haircut commands the respect from the outside group, it commands my own respect too. I'm like, it's an obvious representation of the person that I'm trying to be. But if you just like let yourself not be who you're trying to be too long, it's like, I think sometimes you can, maybe some of that tension, like if you have like a really nice fence, it's like tense. You know, there's like tension between the metal that goes across. But if it's like, that's kind of what you need, or what I need to make sure that I accomplish all the things that I have to do every day, is like some tension of like, I'm doing this. This is what I'm doing. Like I believe in it. Like I'm right here for it. I'm going to do it right now. But if you like are a little bit too loose, or a little bit too slack, it's like, I'll get there. I'll do that. You know, not today. That's okay. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
that tension's kind of important.
Slippery slope. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, yeah. It's like you could, or if you were to not have a haircut, like, yeah, I need a haircut today. I'm getting a haircut today. And like, I guess you could like look at your hair length and like the delta change, how long it's been and how quote unquote crazy it might get for everyone or anyone. But it's, I don't know, you could have that feeling of like, I see this and it's like not where I want it to be. And like, that's okay because I'm going to do something about it. But if you don't have the, I'm going to do something about it part of it, then it's just like, yeah, you'll that tautness or like that slack will just be easy breezy. There's no, you need to have some sort of sturdiness to you. Some like, no, like I set my line. Like these are my standards and my boundaries, more or less. Just for my own personal sake. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess some people have others, your parents kind of put boundaries on you or like try to help you build your own boundaries. I guess ideally if you're trying to parent somebody or parent a child into, it's like, I'm not having you listen to my rules because I want you to listen to my rules. I want you to be able to become someone who listens to rules and someone who can identify what constitutes a good rule. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you need to have the ability to say, this isn't what I want it to be, or like I'm looking a little sloppy right now. I'm looking a little sloppy, but that's okay because I'm gonna do something about it.
Right.
But if you're like, if you don't even identify yourself as sloppy, and like to you, like you're just like that's like is what it is, then it's like then you'll just like downwardly fall, or allow yourself to be pushed into territory you don't want to really be in truly.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. With your diet, it's super obvious. If you're just being a little sloppy and you don't know you're being sloppy, then you like get fat. And then there's like an obvious representation of you being sloppy, you know?
Yeah, it's like, I'm being a little sloppy right now, but it's all right, I'll tighten it up.
Right.
Like, you need to be someone who's like able to tighten it up whenever the time comes to tighten it up.
Yes.
Because you need the balance. You can't be fucking perfect forever. You can't be getting a haircut every fucking day.
If only, baby.
Bro, my GTA version of me, he's clean, bro. He's fucking icy. Or whatever the fuck game, whatever this is.
The other thing is that it's important to... There's a ton of people that are great, like probably super, like the best in their field, that don't get a haircut every week. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe don't even present themselves like crazy well, you know? But you just know that this person's really competent. So you go to them because maybe like, also maybe their customer service is amazing. Maybe they're like really easy to work with and really nice and really friendly.
Maybe it's part of the mad scientist look.
Yeah, right? There's that part
So
too.
this motherfucker ain't got time to get a haircut.
Yeah.
You slept 4 hours this week. You've been up for 38 hours straight working on this new equation.
For sure. And that person might think, this motherfucker just wastes time and money on haircuts. Like,
Fucking idiot.
yeah, fucking jackass, bro. Like,
Neanderthal.
I totally get it. There's that side of the line too.
I get it.
I don't know.
I guess it comes down to part of your personal opinions and your beliefs.
Yeah.
It's like, it's important. It's important. But it's not like the most important thing in my life or whatever. You know, we all have our hierarchy of value.
Yeah.
What do you value? And I definitely do value. I guess it's not like the haircut per se, or like the look of what the haircut does, but it's more of who I feel like I am, or you know,
Yes.
it's a little bit deeper. It's a little bit more nuanced than just getting a haircut or looking good or whatever. It's like I need to have some self respect. I need that shit.
Yes. And also, that's what I was trying to get to, is that I think it's important to remember that it's the player driving the car, not the car. So, like, I want to be able to also, without getting that initial, like, first strike that you get whenever you just come up looking as sharp as you can possibly look, you're kind of just, like, up naturally and you can float on that. I also like the resistance of, like, needing to rely on my knowledgeability, my skill set, my own charisma, like, my capacity to just have good conversation, to, like, get to where I'm like winning the game without just like using the cheat code of like coming in so sharp that you can't miss, you know?
Yeah. Because that's vain and shallow, or it's like,
It could be viewed as that.
It's a multi-dimensional thing, because ultimately you need to be like the mad scientist in regards of you need to be like correct, or like you need to be running experiments properly and like doing this shit for real and like actually getting results and achieving desired outcomes. You need to be competent. You need to know what the fuck's going on. It's like, the haircut's nice in the restaurant industry. It's like just for presentation. But then whenever you're talking to the person, you need to know what the fuck you're recommending, and you need to know what the fuck's going on there. Because if you can marry the two, or like the competence outweighs the presentation.
100%.
In my estimation, I'm throwing that out there. I think that's just how it should go. That's how you should value expression in life and characters and stories. It's like the person who's competent, or the one who gets the thing done, or who does what they say they're going to do and is honest and like does that kind of shit. That's important. Way more so than the presentation. But yeah, whenever you're able to couple the two and you can pull up and wreck, just coming in sharper than the sharps. Money. And then you deliver it, or then you have like the foundation of competence underneath that. That's like the recipe for ultimate self-respect.
Yes. Yeah. That's beautiful. The marriage of the two.
Mm-hmm.
It's perfect. To ignore either one, you just like hurt your own game.
Yeah, body language is important.
It is, dude.
Your presentation is important.
It's crazy. It's a crazy thing. Like just little stuff like shaving your cheeks and fucking brushing your teeth and coming in with a clean suit, like that just carries a lot of weight. Like it just does.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything is all interactions are what's that? We had this one realization on the podcast where we realized like every transaction is a social transaction.
Uh-huh.
And so it's almost like a respectability thing that they're gonna come to your place and they want to spend money, and then you like owe them a social transaction for that like monetary transaction that they're willing to make.
Mm-hmm.
And then like, do you respect them enough to like present your best self for that social transaction.
Yeah.
And if you do, then they appreciate it enough to make that monetary transaction a really positive one. And perhaps like, I think those are the building blocks for like fucking currency and like how people choose to give their money to certain things and other things.
Big time.
Right.
Big time.
It's like fucking business 405, baby. Welcome to fucking high-end product sales.
Yeah, like there's like the presentation. The presentation's important. It's like fucking, that's what we run our entire country on. It's the presentation of this person we're going to elect to run this shit or to be in charge of this shit, quote unquote.
I think that's another reason that Michael Jordan was so
Are you
fucking...
voting for the bum? Are you voting for the fucking faded guy? I'm voting for the guy with the fade.
Even in movies, like, you know, most of the time your protagonist is like, has some, like, I don't know what it is. If you can project yourself into them, or if you like, you know, why is Tom Cruise in so many movies? Or why do they like good looking people in the movies?
Yeah.
It's like, why?
Why is that a thing?
It's because there's something like naturally alluring about it. I think it's because you want that for yourself. I don't know. But just appreciate beauty as a whole. Like, regardless, there's just something to bringing the best out of yourself that you possibly can. It's like, if you can bring the best version of yourself to the table, that's super worthy and super valuable. It's almost all you can ask of somebody at any given time, you know?
Yeah. And that helps, ultimately, if you're able to, that's part of like we talked about this, like your contribution into this experience thing, like you have a certain amount of contribution. And part of that is like your presentation of yourself and like your effort that you put towards things and like how you put effort towards like your intelligence or your informational skills or whatever you're trying to learn, or your presentation, or you're trying to do some, whatever you're actually physically trying to do, like you're practicing certain disciplines, whatever you're practicing and doing habitually, that's going to be like your, I don't know, it's all derived from your value systems. But it's important to maximize your contribution just so you can ultimately help create an experience that you're okay with. It's because you have to live with your feeling. Like life is just a feeling process of feeling things out, and then how you feel about yourself. Ultimately, we talked about that before as well. But if you're able to maximize your contribution and like present your best self, then that helps you be at ease with your own like life story. It's like, I did my best, or it's like I put it all out there. Like I can't really ask much more of myself to do anything. And it's like how you feel about it, ultimately yourself. And it's like I was thinking about all of that in regards to what we were talking about a couple seconds ago, or like a minute ago. But that led me to a thought about like my suits, like at work, or it's like the clothing that you wear. And one of them, I don't know, it's just weird because it's like metaphorically, you have to put on you every day. And it's like, how do you feel in you? It's like, are you uncomfortable? Are you tight? Is it awkward? Is it too big? Is it loose? Is it fit just right? And it feels great to wear this like to wear you. Cause like I was wearing one of the suits, and to the outside perspective, everyone's like, man, it's just a sharp looking suit. Looks good, blah, blah, blah. But then like in my mind, it's like, it didn't feel that good. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't as comfortable, or it didn't fit me quite how I wanted it to. Like nothing crazy, but like just like a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But then got another suit, and like, yeah, I feel better in the one that fits me better, or whatever, you know? So it's like we have to wear our own life, and like it'll feel better whenever you're wearing your own life if you're maximizing your contribution and your contribution includes all your sacrifices, all your presentations, all your habits and your systems, and ultimately your interpretation of that experience. It's like, all right, I got to wear this motherfucker every day. And sometimes it doesn't feel that tight, or it doesn't feel that right. And then eventually you sort of hopefully start identifying sacrifices that help you fit better within yourself and make you feel more comfortable within yourself and give you more self-respect and self-pride and self-love, ultimately.
Yes.
It's like I fuck with that character. Like, you know when you watch a movie or you watch a show and you're like, I fuck with that guy. That's my dog. Like, you have that. Like, you have that with yourself.
Right. Feels great.
Yeah.
When you're doing that. Yeah, dude.
That's it.
That's worth pursuing.
That's it.
I don't know if everybody wakes up and
It's
thinks
worth
about
your
that
entire
every day.
life.
Yeah, that's it. It's a big cost, and it's a lifelong thing.
Yes.
And not most people, but there's definitely a natural inclination to like fold on that and be like, well, that'd be nice. It'd be nice if I could fucking have a 6-pack for sure. That'd be great. But like, I ain't getting no fucking 6-pack. I'm gonna drink this fucking sixer. You know,
I'll drink a 6-pack.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Think of a 6-pack of fucking Lone Star, whatever it is, you know. But it's just worth it, bro. Like
It's just worth it.
That's the road to
ultimately.
hell. Like the experience of your experience, like the suit that you put on every day, you know, like
Of you.
But if you can get to a place of acceptance where you're like you definitely should be like okay, like with what you have, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's ultimately where you need to end up anyway.
Right.
And you can have that right now.
Exactly.
Ultimately, it's like, because we think things are going to bring us that feeling, but we can have that feeling like pretty much any time, any moment, anytime.
Yes.
I think in the way that we get to that feeling is if we maximize our contribution. That's the only way you fucking get there, dog.
Yeah,
and
true.
you can do that today.
True.
You know what I'm saying? You don't need the body to get there. We don't need the subscribers to get there. Like, we're maximizing our contribution already. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Right.
the podcast and the music, it's like we're already giving everything we can to it. It's like life. People, yeah, it's just life. Everyone has to do that in their own medium, whatever they're trying to do with themselves. And
Very
it's worth
true.
it. It's fucking worth it.
It's worth it.
It's worth it. It's
Because
the only thing
you
you
can
gotta
sleep
do.
at night, yo.
Mhm.
How, you know, can you really sleep at night? That's another question.
Yeah, the same way you got to wake up every fucking day and put on some pants and put on a shirt. It's like your soul wakes up, or like when you wake up, your soul puts you on, dog. Like it's whoop, like suited up, zipped up. We're in this bitch, and then like you feel. It's like
That's
it's like,
life.
oh, how is this? Like, ah, it's fucking tight. It's fucking uncomfortable. I don't like this. I don't like this.
Mm.
That could be your whole life, bro. Fuck that.
Fuck that.
Fuck that, y'all.
Fuck that.
Nope. Rather die trying.
Cordially invite you.
Rather cordially invite you to die trying with me.
Seriously. It's just worth it, bro. We've been going to Play-Doh school.
Mm-hmm.
We've been bulking the last, I call it bulking. We've been working out like madmen the last like 2 months or so.
Yeah, just pushing it, just hurting yourself.
Yeah.
Not like too bad, but just enough hurt.
Yeah, bro. And there's just something too, like how I feel after I do that, and then how I feel if I don't do that. It's like obvious to me. You know what I'm saying? I think it
Mhm.
comes down to making sacrifices. Like
Big time. Big time.
the key to a happy life is proper sacrifice. One of the first,
One of the first books, dog.
yeah, one of the first stories in the Bible, right, bro? It's
One
like
of the first lessons in life.
what happens with proper and improper sacrifice. So you can win God's favor, or you could. It's so crazy. Like improper sacrifice results in killing your brother. It's like the nature of sin is so. Not only do you fuck up, but you fuck up everything.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah, you want to bring someone down with you.
Yeah. Like improper sacrifice. That's why I think it's a heart thing. It's because like the thing with Cain and Abel is like they both made sacrifices, and it doesn't really exactly explain like why Abel's sacrifice was like more pleasing to God.
Yeah, it's kind of ambiguous like that.
In my mind, it's like I think they made the same sacrifice, but it's just like their heart. Like
The heart.
I think if Abel didn't win the favor of God, I don't think he would have turned on Cain where his heart was. I think he would have like probably taken responsibility, like looked at what he didn't do properly. Like Jordan Peterson says, like just look. If you just look and say, what am I not doing? Like something will present itself to you. And then you can do that thing. And then you can do the next thing that presents itself. Like trying to clean a room. You're like, where should I start? What am I going to do here? This closet's a fucking mess. So the closet presented itself to you. Just start with the closet.
Yeah.
So like, I think because Abel's heart was like that, that's why God appreciated his sacrifice. And I think that Cain's heart was not like that he was going to blame God for making the task so hard.
Yeah.
Blame the people for making it so difficult on him. Blame the weather for not raining. Blame everything else so much that he then gets so resentful of Abel that he'll just kill him because that's where his heart was.
Yeah, blames him.
Right?
Blames him.
Like that's
Yeah, I guess it gets to the point where he blames him, not even for like it's like you're not the reason per se that God is not accepting my sacrifices, but like maybe you're the reason that I feel like this. You know what I'm saying?
That's deep.
I think it's that resentment and that
Right.
bitterness.
Like why don't I deserve it? Like give it to me. Like I deserve it. You don't deserve it either. Like why should you get it?
Yeah. So I think you're right with comes down to a heart thing, your intentions,
Yes.
your true intentions. Pure.
Right. And so that's the thing about proper sacrifice. And it's like, what's the lesson? Like a purely intended proper sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah, being willing to be wrong, or because it's like I think the heart thing is perfect because it comes down to if I'm making sacrifice and the thing isn't going well, or because back when I was trying to like first get on my fitness journey and start working out super hard and like really tracking the macros and doing a whole bunch of research on types of workouts and bodybuilding.com and supplements and all that bullshit. it's like there was a long period of time where I was just like running experiments on myself, and I was like tracking my calories and doing my workouts and like weighing myself every week and then tracking all the shit more or less and just trying to make sure that the shit was going right and like trying to make sure that my sacrifices were proper and leading in the right direction. And then if I wasn't going in the quote unquote right direction during whatever seasonality I was in, whether I was trying to gain weight or lose weight, if I wasn't going the way I wanted to go, then I would have to readjust and be like, I'm doing something wrong. Something's fucked up. I need to figure this out. I need to do something differently. This is on me. I need to adjust some variables, or maybe there's variables I'm not even accounting for. Maybe I need to scope or like broaden my scope of what I think is even influencing me. And it's like, that is like a pure heart versus Cain's intention could have been just like, yeah, just blaming anything and everything else.
Yeah.
And Abel's heart could have been, even if Abel wasn't properly rewarded for his sacrifices in that moment, maybe his heart was like towards that same predisposition to be willing to be wrong and be like, I'm wrong. Like, tell me what's right, and I'll do it.
Right.
Versus being like, I'm not wrong. Like,
right.
I know what's going on here. Like, this game is fucked up. This is broken. This is bullshit. This is a rigged game.
That's it, bro. Like, in my opinion, that's
it.
That's what I draw. I think you can probably draw a lot of different perspectives from it, you know?
Yeah. Maybe you're not born with one or the other heart. Maybe you kind of transition between the two, or you have the ability to transition between the two. And it's like that Cain heart is just very powerful and very slippery of a slope.
Dude, emotional management, like, sure, as a kid, like, I can remember being, like, in elementary school and being, like, you know, like, angry, or, like, being, like, having to digest and understand that, like, life, first of all, is super difficult on, like, everybody. And that, like, there's a lot of things that you can't control. And then there's only like certain amount of outcomes that you can control, and really all you can do is like give your best and like steadily move towards the thing that you want, even if you don't have it right now. And then like blaming other people is not going to really help you. And like it's that you should look more internally and intrinsically on like what you're doing and try to control your variables. But like my emotions as a kid, like you get like angry and upset and sad. You want to throw fits. Mm-hmm. You want to be jealous, or you want to like I think like the urges to do that definitely happen to people, but they don't really happen to me anymore. You know what I'm saying? But I just think that sometimes people don't develop like that emotional regulatory
maturity,
like, brain pattern. Yeah, maturity. Mm-hmm. Or maybe you just don't see like I've seen people like be sad and like embarrassed and like not have what they want. And like I've also seen people try really hard and not get what they want. And I've seen like enough of like hurt people to like not want to like hurt people or blame people, or like that I just want to lift everybody up for the most part. That like my life experience kind of gave me a spirit of love, where I'm like, man, like for the most part, I do think that most people are doing like their best, and their best could be a lot better for sure. But like in any given moment, people aren't actively like shooting themselves in the foot on purpose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like there is a part of me that wants to like just grant grace for like everybody all the time. But then I go through this cycle where I do that for like a year or 2 or 3, and then I get like frustrated, and then like nobody gets any grace. I'm like, you're a bitch, bro. That's if you want a body, go to the fucking gym. Like
put in a cheeseburger.
Yeah, it's not that complicated. Like just start going, just start showing up. Just like I'm gonna show up every day at the, like I want to just like force feed them the building blocks of my own process. But like then I realize what's going on there. Like I realize like, okay, like for the most part, I grant so much, like I try to be so cool with everybody all the time. And then I get frustrated because it does come down to like individual discipline. And maybe I'm just frustrated with my own individual discipline right now that I'm trying to force feed everybody else discipline. It's like The Office when Michael's like, I thought you wanted to eat broccoli. It's like, you said you were going to eat broccoli. Why are you eating broccoli? Go get some broccoli.
For the New Year's resolutions?
Yeah.
He's like, 12 a.m. Bam! I started flossing. Blood everywhere.
12:01. Yeah, and then there's that moment where he's trying to like
eat the broccoli, Stanley.
Kevin, right?
Oh yeah, it's Kevin.
He's like eating the broccoli. He's like, no more.
He's like, how is it? He's like, I hate it. It's terrible.
It's just raw broccoli. I've been there. I've been that person, that Michael Scott, who's like, eat the raw broccoli, damn it.
It's your resolution, isn't it?
Yeah. For sure, but that's not the answer. Like even in that moment in the office, Michael's like, Like this
It's
is
too much.
This is getting away from me. I'm frustrated about this thing over here, and I'm resulting in this thing over here. So like, and even that, I think like the spirit of Cain, like I said, like that as a kid, it pulls up as like this little small thing. Like it's like, oh, I'm angry or I'm sad or fuck that guy. Why does he get to play forward on the soccer team? Or it's like, oh, he gets to be quarterback because he's coach's kid, or like whatever the fuck would piss you off, right?
Yeah.
And then like control what you control, do the best that you can do, blah blah blah. And then I get to an adult place and I'm like, you know, oh, we can't be quarterback because we don't run enough. This pussy doesn't run enough, and you want all this? Go like eat the broccoli, bitch. Eat the fucking broccoli. But it's like it's the same. Like the spirit of Cain like renews itself. It's hard to get away from it completely. It presents itself in different ways.
The heart of Cain.
Yeah,
the spirit.
Like even when you think you have your house in order, and even when you like come to this new level of responsibility, upholding and discipline, it's like that thing still. These things still get in there somehow. You know,
maybe it's just the downward negative side of like improper sacrifice. It's like Cain's spirit, and like Abel's spirit is just like the positive upward side of proper sacrifice. And it's like you're gonna have to navigate between the two, because not every sacrifice you make is gonna be perfect. Actually, pretty much all of them are gonna be fucking awful until you figure it out and tweak it every day for the rest of your life, and then you'll figure out how your sacrifices are supposed to go and how it's supposed to, what's actually, I guess, possible, or like how you can do it day to day, and you'll get better and better and better and more disciplined with it, and more strategic and more systematic. You know, it'll become automatic.
Yes.
Eventually, ideally. But ultimately, regardless, you're always going to fuck up your sacrifices. Your first one's not going to be your best one. Typically, it's going to be your worst. So you need to always be able to transition between, or be someone who's okay with not reaping proper, or reaping what you deem to be a proper sacrifice, or benefit from a sacrifice that you've made. You need to be okay with that, because it's going to happen all the time. But then you need to have the ability to at least believe that you could be the Abel spirit as well. You can embody that spirit, and you can figure out the proper sacrifice, figure out how to make it, and then get whatever proper blessing you're trying to get, whatever desired outcome you're looking for. You can manifest it.
Yes. It's just honing in on it. It's honing in. It's hard to do.
Very hard to do.
It's elusive. You can't quite see it. It's invisible. But you just like hone in on it a little bit at a time.
Yeah.
And you got to use your own feeling. Like I know if I go to the gym and didn't like work out, like I should have done something else, or I had, like for me, like a complete workout's like 4 exercises. So like bench for sure, and then like tricep extension pull downs, and then chest flies, and then like dumbbell raises, like 4 exercises, and then like I need like 10 or 15 minutes of cardio and like 10 or 15 minutes of sauna, and that's a good one. It's not like amazing. I could do more. I could get the abs in there. I could do supersets. I could really like blow my own fucking mind for sure. But like that's a good sacrifice. And if I make like that good sacrifice, like 5 days or so, like that's it. That's what I'm looking for. That's the ideal. But it took a long time to identify that, to like know what that good sacrifice was.
Yeah.
And then now that I have a picture of it, it's way easier to pursue. And then it's more like, did I leave on time? That's like affected my sacrifice. Not my willingness to make the sacrifice, or my ability to make the sacrifice. Like the sacrifice for the sacrifice.
The sacrifice to carve out the time to make the sacrifice.
Yes. Like that's got to be a good sacrifice.
Fuck.
Yeah. Like it gets nuanced and deep. And
getting in there.
It's but like when I very first take it back to like, I don't even know how to work out. You know what I'm saying? Like identifying what that proper sacrifice is like hard to do, you know?
Yeah, at first it's just go to the gym, just show up. That's a good enough sacrifice. That's a goat worthy of slaughter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is.
It's not a lame goat or whatever.
No.
It's like it's worthy. It's worthy. It's a worthy sacrifice.
Yes.
At that point. But then the worthy sacrifice transforms, and it's like, well, now you know how to go to the gym. Now you know how to do a little bit of stuff. You've done some research. So now you know what a proper sacrifice would look like. Now if you were to not make that, you're consciously choosing to do so. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, no, you've seen enough videos. You've like done enough bench, or you've done enough chest or leg exercises. You've seen enough to know how to comprise a worthy leg sacrifice for a leg day.
Yes.
And it's like, if you choose to not do so, then you're choosing to not do so. And it's like, oh, then you become the person who chooses to not make the proper sacrifice, and it's just like, fuck it.
That's terrible.
Deep.
That's hell, bro.
Forever.
Yeah. The consequences are so...
Be careful with yourself. Give yourself some time, dog.
We're dangerous. I think you said that. We're talking about like drinking and stuff like that, or like we're just dangerous to us. Our free will is dangerous.
Yes, it could be a hindrance. It could be too much freedom.
Yeah.
It's not true freedom. The ability to do anything, or the ability to do everything and anything.
For me, the metaphor that just hit me is just like driving a car. It's like driving a car is dangerous, for sure.
Big time.
But like for the
causing deaths, or one of the leading causes.
Yeah. For the most part, you drive everywhere you need to go every day, no problem. It's like that's kind of like life too. It's like super dangerous thing, but for the most part, like you can just go do what you got to do and like progress and have a good life.
Fucking yes, bro. Have a good life, y'all. It's fucking worth it out here.
Let's go.
It's worth it. The sacrifices are justified. I promise. The sacrifices are justified. Because that's it. That's all you got to live with is how you feel about your own sacrifices and your ability to make those sacrifices.
Yeah.
You respect yourself. That's the way to do it. Make some sacrifices.
Perform better. When you respect yourself, have more natural confidence.
Yep. Some more competence, more confidence, more self-respect.
Crushing. Welcome to the crush.
Fucking crush pod.
We're crushing, bro. Yeah, we didn't laugh a lot today. We went kind of on the deep dive of
we're just talking about life.
Fucking haircuts. Proper sacrifice.
People just talk to me. They're like, what's your podcast about? I don't fucking know, man. I couldn't tell you, dog. It's impossible it's ineffable if I'm being real with you.
It's a slice of life.
It's just, we're talking about anything. So yeah, all of that started from haircut getting scheduled. I got a haircut later on today. Let's get it in. Hopefully y'all have a great rest of your day as well.
Crush.
We're finna go crush this day.
Best self.
Crush it. It's worth pursuing. Comment, like, subscribe, share. Calling to action. Pick up the phone. It's me. I'm calling you to action.
You know when hotline bling.
Hotline bling. Hotline bling.
Leave your comments under the YouTube.
Yeah, hit us in the comments.
Be a friend, tell a friend.
Yeah, hit us in the DMs if you want to talk about something particular, whatever. We're trying to figure out how to orchestrate and logistically get some guests on here and stuff. But everything's coming out, y'all. We're making moves slowly but surely. More music on the way too. We got some shit coming out soon.
Yeah, we pushing
and we rocking. It's summertime. Enjoy the heat.
Stay out of the sun.
Get some water. Drink some water. Get in the water.
Be the water. Yes, sir. I'll leave you with that.
That's it. Love y'all.
Peace.
Rolling through the city to the light show. Really ain't no telling where we might go. I just flipped the switch, I'm in my